BioLearning with Aparna. Since our few sessions, we have been studying the chapter tissues. We have already discussed the plant tissue and two types of animal tissue. Now with the continuation in that discussion, we will begin with muscular tissue and nervous tissue. The third type of animal tissue is muscular tissue. Now this muscular tissue, it consists of elongated cells, and that elongated cells are called as muscle fibers. Now as you know that the muscular tissue is involved in the movement in our body. So these are the main tissues that are responsible for movement in our bodies. Now this muscular tissue, it consists of a specific protein. That protein is known as contractile protein. Now this contractile protein is responsible for two main actions, that is contraction and relaxation of the muscles. Relaxation of muscles, which is essentially required for the movement. So with the help of contraction and relaxations of this contractile protein, the movement in our body is carried out by the muscular tissue. Now there are two major types of muscular tissue, that is known as voluntary tissue and involuntary tissue. So the voluntary tissue, these are the tissues that are moved with our conscious will. That means whenever it is required, we can move these muscles, and whenever it is not required or whenever we do not wish to move that muscle, we stop the movement of that muscles. So on the basis of wish of the particular animal, the muscle movement is controlled. So it is known as voluntary muscle. Now these voluntary muscles are present in the limbs. So in our limbs, that means the muscles in our hands, in our legs are the voluntary muscles. These muscles are also called as the skeletal muscles. The voluntary muscles are also called as skeletal muscles because these are attached or these are in contact with the bones, so that again it is responsible for the movements in the body. Now one more interesting thing is that the voluntary muscles are also called as striated muscles. Now when we move this or when we carry out the appropriate staining of these muscles, so like the different cells, we carry out the staining of these muscles or muscle tissue, and when we observe it under the microscope. So on microscopic observation of the stained muscles, it is observed that there are alternate light and dark patches or dark bands. That means the striations are observed. So these muscles are also known as striated muscles. The cells of this voluntary tissue are long, cylindrical, unbranched, and most important thing, that is these are multinucleated. So from the microscopic observations also we can differentiate between the voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. So the muscles which are actually moved or the movement of that muscle is carried out as per our wish, that are known as voluntary muscles, also called as striated muscles or skeletal muscles, and the cells are long, cylindrical, unbranched and multinucleated. There are certain movements in our body that really we cannot start or even end or stop with our wish. Such movements are known as involuntary movements. Now what are these movements? For example, movement of food in alimentary canal. Movement of food in the alimentary canal. Similarly, contraction and relaxation of blood vessels. Now if you think, can you stop or start these movements? No, not at all. So such movements are known as involuntary movement, and the muscles which are involved in such involuntary movement are known as involuntary muscles. These muscles, that is the involuntary muscles, are also called as smooth muscles. Now these smooth muscles are present at specific location, that is iris of eye, then the ureters. Similarly, these are also present in the bronchi of lungs. So wherever there are involuntary movement, the involuntary muscles are involved. The cells of these involuntary muscles are long with the pointed ends. That is, these are spindle shaped. Similarly, they are having only single nucleus, that is, these are uninucleated, and the major thing is that unlike the voluntary muscles, these are not showing the striations, so these are unstriated. So we can clearly differentiate the cells of voluntary muscles are cylindrical, here these are spindle shaped, that are multinucleated, these are uninucleated, that are striated, and these are unstriated. One of the most important involuntary muscle in our body is the heart muscle. Now this heart muscle is called as cardiac muscles. Now these cardiac muscles are responsible for the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of heart. Now these cardiac muscles, it consists of the cells that are elongated, that are branched, and uninucleated. So the important involuntary muscles in our body are the cardiac muscles, that are nothing but the heart muscles. The fourth, that is last type of animal tissue, is the nervous tissue. Now we know that every cell is having ability to respond to the stimuli. The cells of nervous tissue are specialized for being stimulated, and they transmit the stimuli rapidly from one place to another within our body. So the characteristic feature of cells of nervous tissue is that the cells are highly specialized for being stimulated. So the characteristic feature of the cells of nervous tissue is that they are readily stimulated, and when these cells are stimulated, they transmit that stimuli rapidly from one place to another place within our body. Now these cells, that is the brain, spinal cord, and nerves, these are made up of nervous tissue. Now the cells of nervous tissue are known as nerve cells, or simply we can call it as neuron. The cell of a nervous tissue is known as nerve cell or neuron. Now usually a single neuron may be up to a meter in its length. Now structurally a neuron consists of a cell body. Now this cell body, it consists of cytoplasm, and a nucleus. Usually, a neuron consists of long, hair-like, single part that is known as axon. So, typically, neuron consists of long, hair-like process that is known as axon and several branch, shorter processes that are known as dendrites. And these are the nerve endings. Nerve ends. So the neuron consists of a cell body having a nucleus and cytoplasm. It is having two different types of processes. A single long unbranched process that is known as axon and several branched processes that are known as dendrites. Now such several nerve cells, they bound together by connective tissue and they form nerves. So several such nerve cells, they bound together by the connective tissue and form nerves. The signal that passes through nerve fiber, it is called as nerve impulse. Now this nerve impulse enables us to move the muscles as per our wish. So the functional combination of nerve tissue and the muscle tissue enables the specific animal for the rapid movement of the body to the stimuli. So it is the net effect of both, that is the nervous tissue and the muscle tissue, to carry out the movement of the animal body to the stimuli. Now let us summarize various types of animal tissues that we have already discussed. So overall there are four major types of animal tissues, namely epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. Now this epithelial tissue can be further classified on the basis of the shape of the cell and whether there are layers of the cell, etc. So the epithelial tissue can be further classified as a simple squamous epithelium, columnar epithelium, ciliated squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, glandular epithelium and stratified squamous epithelial tissue. So overall the epithelial tissue form a layer or the covering and it performs the overall protective function. The second major type of tissue is animal tissue is the connective tissue. Now this connective tissue, the examples of the connective tissue are blood, bone, cartilage, ligament, tendon, adipose tissue and the areolar tissue. Further two types that we have discussed today, that are muscular tissue and the nervous tissue. So the muscular tissue, there are mainly two different types of muscles, that is the voluntary muscles and the involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscles are also called as the skeletal or the striated muscular tissue, and involuntary tissue is also known as smooth or the unstriated muscles. The major involuntary muscles are the cardiac muscle, that we all know that these are the heart muscles. And finally the last type of the animal tissue is the nervous tissue, which is mainly present in the brain, spinal cord and the nerves, and the cells which form the nervous tissue are known as, either we can call it as neurons or the nerve cells. Coming to the end of today's session, now we will finish up with your chapter tissues. In this chapter, we have initially introduced the concept of tissues and also we have discussed in detail the types and functions of all plant tissues as well as animal tissues. If you are having any doubt, give it in the comment box. Like, share and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to press the bell button so that you will be getting notified with the coming video. So we will meet soon with our new chapter.